The next step then is just to talk around Excel function, which is like the crux of Excel. This is where many people get to enter and get to know Excel from actually using functions. So if you go to the formulas tab, there it will show you the function library there, where functions have been grouped according to the category that they belong it, or the similar functionality. So as you can see, the first one is auto sum. Then you have your recently used. So if you have functions that you just recently used, they will be listed here. For financial, if you need any function that deals mostly with financial calculations, then they will be summarized for you there. Then you've got logical that have to do check whether something maybe is true or false. Then you've got your text that will exploit your text. Maybe you want to set all the text within a particular cell to capital letter or lower letters, or you like to extract certain contents in there, you'll be able to find it in here. Then you've got lookup and references. This is also where many people tend to do when you work with your VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Then you've got maths and tree, which has to do with the mathematics. And then there's like a category for more functions, which are not mostly used that often. And then under the more categories, you've got your statistical functions, if you're doing any statistical calculations, or engineering. So in Excel, your formula is shown within a formula bar. This is where you'll be able to see your formula and what you have written. So we're going to spend some time now working with an Excel file. So if you've downloaded the file, please open it so that you can also follow through when I'm showing you. So I'm going to jump over to my Excel file now. So I'm going to use the population city province population by province data set. So one of the functions that we tend to do, or one of the things that we tend to do, especially with numbers, we'd like to add the numbers. That's like the basic thing that many people would like to do. So in Excel, if you'd like to do like a formula or a function, so the first thing that you need to start with is an equal sign. So by putting an equal sign, it automatically tells in your cell, it automatically tells Excel that you are about to do either put in a function or a formula. So if I type in my equal sign now, then let's see, I would like to add the numbers for all the provinces. So I can come and select the cell that I'm interested in. Then I can do a plus sign, then I select the next cell, then plus sign. So you'll see that my formula bar here keeps on showing everything that I've actually typed onto my cell. Then I come here, and I come to the next one, next, there. Yeah, then when you're done, so if your Excel function is valid, when you press enter, it should actually evaluate the formula or functions that you've actually input in there. So you will also see that Excel, whenever you select the cells, it gives them a unique color, so that at least it becomes easy for you, especially in a formula like this, where there are multiple cells that we've selected. So now you are able to see which color relates to which one. So in case maybe you want to make a particular team, so you're able to see, and it also shows you the cell that have been selected. So if I press enter, then I should be able to evaluate my function. So I've got my number there. So that is actually the population size of South Africa as per the 2022 census evaluation. So we were roughly around 62 million. So one of the nice things about Excel is that once you've got your formula or functions in a particular cell, you are able to extend it either to the cells, adjacent cells, or the source cells before, below, or above. So by coming and clicking here on this small square box here on the bottom left called the fill handle, you are able to extend your formula accordingly to how you want. So in this instance, I'd like to extend this formula so that it gives me also the land size, the total land size for South Africa. So if you click on it, you hold, and then you drag it in the direction of interest. In this case, you can either drag it to the left, you can drag it down, you can drag it up. Just make sure that you hold your left mouse button. So in this case, I'm gonna go to the right. Then when I go to the right, now it has extended my formula to now cover column E, which is the land size. So now if I double click here, I see that it's also adding up the land size. So now I've got the square kilometer for the whole of South Africa. Now I know how big South Africa is. So that's sort of the functions that people tend to do. So this is your normal plus sign. So if you want to do maybe a difference to calculate or my subtract, so you'll also use your usual minus sign. So you have to start with an equal sign. Let's see, I would like to see the difference between the population in Gauteng and the population in KwaZulu-Natal. So if I select the two, then I know that Gauteng has in addition 2.6 million people compared to KwaZulu-Natal. Then if I would like to also see what is the difference in terms of the land size, then if I move over, so here it's giving me a negative sign. So it's showing me that Gauteng is actually smaller than KwaZulu-Natal, as much as Gauteng has the highest population, but it's actually smaller than the corresponding province, KwaZulu-Natal. So Gauteng has a higher population, but it's in terms of land size, it is like 75,000 square kilometer less compared to KwaZulu-Natal. So that's how you can do a minus. So if you like to multiply, maybe you would like to multiply a number. Let's say maybe we will wish maybe to increase the population of Limpopo by double. We can come here and then you use your asterisk. You just start there and then you multiply, so I'm gonna multiply it by 2. Then that's what I have there. Let's also say we would like to increase the square land size. And then you also might extend it right there. So if you would like to do a division, then you do equal sign to see, let's see how big Gauteng is relative to KwaZulu-Natal. So I'm going to select the population size, divide by the KwaZulu-Natal population size. So it's essentially 1.22 times bigger than KwaZulu-Natal. And then in terms of land size, then it's less 18%. So that's how you can do your division. So with this forward slash, that's how you can do your division. So what we've been doing here is it's a fairly manual calculation. So currently in our data set, we only have 9 provinces. So it was easy to do all this function by just adding them up, selecting each individual cells together. But sometimes you might find that maybe you have thousands or even hundreds of thousands of cells that you need to work with. So trying to do a formula like this by hand will definitely not be feasible. So what Excel has is that they have what they call functions. So these are pre-built formulas within Excel to perform certain calculations. So let's say like for something like a sum, Excel has a function called sum that you can use. So you open your, just tap by opening the brackets, you type sum. So what you should also see is that Excel, whenever you're typing whatever function you are, it automatically filters out the possible functions that you maybe want to look at. So now because I've typed sum, it's showing me all the functions that have the word sum in it so that it simplifies it for me so that I can easily select the function of interest. So let's say I've just typed SAU, I can come here to sum. I know this is the function that I need, double click on it. Excel will put in that function for me, and then it will also do an open round bracket for me. So round brackets are used to include the contents like the cells that you would like that function to work on. So what you can do with the sum function is that it expects you to give it a range. So remember that a range is a combination of multiple cells in any shape. So in this case, if I select the first D2 and sum, then I'll get the value for just adding D2 only. And then let's say I would like to select more than D2, then I need to do the colon. Right now, I want to convert this into a range. So I want to go D2 and D3. So now it automatically selects and joins them together. Now they have this highlight line, a border line showing that these cells have been treated together. They form part of the same range. Then if I do enter, then I'll have my number right there. But if I would like to select all the provinces, then I can come and do sum and select everything here. So you see it puts it in a nice, very nice format right there for me. Then I go to the right there. So you can see that there's a different, this formula here, it's quite long compared to the function here. So the function here only just has the range, the name of the range, which is your top left cell and your bottom right cell. So also, if you'd like to see, right now when you do your formulas and functions, you get what is the evaluated, the results of the evaluation. So maybe let's say you'd like to see the functions themselves. What you can do is you can press Control, and then you go to select the tilde sign, which is just the button just below your escape button or to the left of the number 1. So if you do that, you select there, you'll see that Excel automatically shows me the formula and the functions that I've used right here. Sometimes it's quite useful, especially if you'd like to print, if you're doing a test, if you need to print the formulas or the functions, then you can do this. So essentially it's your Control button plus your the tilde sign. Yeah. So then this will give you your formula. You need to press them together, or hold Control and press your just the button below your escape or to the left of 1 and then at the left side of your keyboard. Okay, so that's how you can see, and you can also revert back to the evaluated amounts by pressing the same combinations of button. Then now you've got your figures right there. So this is a nice thing about Excel functions. So there's quite a large variety of functions that are there. So if you'd like to see the functions, remember you can come to the formulas, you can check the financial. So it lists the functions that are there for you. If you select a particular function, it will also give you just a high level descriptions. And it also shows you, like in brackets, there shows you what it expects when you use that function. So okay, nextly, then I'm just going to address some of the popular functions that people tend to use. So I've selected to work with the sum, average, the round, the min max, the count functions. So I think those are the popular functions that people tend to use most on a day-to-day basis. Okay, next we're going to do the average function. I'm going to delete this content right here. So let's say I would like to calculate the average. So the average, maybe just to explain what an average is. So an average is the sum of all the numbers that divided by the count of the numbers that are there. Like, let's say like in this instance, if I want to find the average population size of South Africa, I know that there are 9 provinces. So I will sum 9 provinces population size and divide them by 9. So it gives me an average. So essentially saying that if you were to split people evenly across every province, what would be that number, that magic number that you need to have to make sure that every province has the same number of population, the same population size. Okay. So if I come here, then I would like to do my average. The nice thing about Excel is they name the functions as per the words that we use. So you type in average. So again, it expects the range. If you put in the average of a number, it will just be that number, because it will be that number divided by however, by the count, which is just 1, because we're only averaging one number. So it's sum that one number divided by 1. So that's what we have here. So if I would like to take the average of all the population size of South Africa, so it's 9 provinces. So I can do it here, then I close it there, then gives me the average. So essentially here, this number is telling me that if we needed to make sure that every province has the same number of people in it, that number will need to be 6.89 million. So if you have 6.89 million in each provinces, then all the 9 provinces will have the same number of people. So like I was saying, an average is just a sum. So if I were divided by the number of those digits that you've added up. So if I take the sum here and I divide it by 9, I would expect that it should give me the same number, because that's what an average is, just that it simplifies this effort of typing the sum and then dividing it, adding a division to it. So that's an average. Likewise, with any functions, you can also write it down. And then we also have the average of the land size of South Africa. So then the next function that I'm going to look at is the round. So as you can see with an average function, because I'm doing a division, it has fractional elements to it. Sorry, that was disconnected. So it has fractional elements to it. So sometimes maybe you want to see the whole number. So in order for you to do that, you will need to invoke functions like round. So the round function rounds a given number into any given number of digits. So if I select this here and I do comma, then I select the number of digits. In this case, let's say I would like to select 2. So if I select 2, then it rounds my number into 2 decimal digits. So I've got 2 decimal digits numbers. Then if I extend it here, then I've got it also for the square length size. You can also round it to 0. So this will then give you like the whole number digit. If you round it to 0, so there we have it. So depending, you can put in as in any number that you have here. So however many digits that you would like to round to. So if you would like to maybe, so the round here for positive number that you, a number greater than 0 that you include here, it rounds the number after the decimal point. So it will round the number like it's in this 667. But if you like to round the number to the left of the period, then you need to use a negative number. So you need to say, okay, I would like to round the 4 here. So I'll use the -1. So this is saying, okay, the negative is saying, okay, to the left of the period. And then when you use the positive sign, it's to the right of the period. So we select it here, then now you can see that I'm rounding here. So I can even make it 2. It's rounding here. So let's see how many digits we have, 36. So if I round it to 6, I'll expect to only see only 1 digit. So that's what I have. So it rounds it up to the left. So you can play around with it in terms of the numbers, the positive and negative numbers. So that's what we have on the round. So I don't know if there's any question maybe up until this point or on anything that I've shown so far. Okay, there doesn't seem to be any questions. So I'm gonna move now to the mean function, which is the shorthand for minimum. So if you like maybe to find a minimum of a particular entry, this is the minimum. So you take the mean of this and then you select there, and then you select the range of interest as we have there. And then I close my decimal digits. Then I get there. So it gives me the minimum. So essentially what I'm having here, because I've applied my mean function to the population size, I have what is the population with the least number or the lowest number of people in it. So here I've got 1355. If I go and check, then it's Northern Cape. So it's telling me that, okay, Northern Cape is the province that has the lowest number of population. So if I apply extended to the right here, the minimum function. So in terms of the province, I'm seeing that, okay, Gauteng is the province with the smallest land size compared to all the other 9 provinces. So that's just the mean function. So it's a quite nice function that you can use to find a minimum. And then likewise, we have what is